Alright, hello everybody to the week 2 recaps for the JLPC season 4? 5? I don't know, I'm in too many leagues to remember. I'm Cynthia, the coach of the Germany-Girafarigs, who is in this league as well. And now, week 1 recaps are on Rain's channel, link will be in the description below. Next week is gonna be probably my channel again, maybe Rain's, we have to see. I'm doing this week alone because Rain and Jake already did them, but they had audio issues and so they don't want to do anymore, and so I'm taking over for them because I just don't want to skip week 2. So we have Derpy Pig Sauce versus Kronos 125. And we have a pretty scary matchup as you see here. I see a Magierna, a Dragon, Kieran Black. Gonna be an interesting match. Let's see. Leads with a Dragon, he leads with the Big Mama, switches out into the Tepufini, which is a good play. Taunts the Corsola, good, not Corsola can do anything, goes into packs. A lot of switching, baneful bunkers on the Toxic Spikes. Why Toxic Spiking when he has a Toxapex anyway? Why do you go for Outrage when you have a Tefini? That makes no sense. But yeah. Goes back into the Metroid. Gunshots on the packs. Interesting. That's the correct place. Wow. Is that? Huh. Does a lot of damage to the Kangaskhan with his T-Bolt. Now, that's not a good play because you saw how little damage it did and now you give it free setup basically. Goes into the Luxray to lower its attack even though it already attacked specially, which makes no sense. Superpowers doesn't kill, you basically sack your Luxray now. It actually lives and you take the Magierna. But it chipped down your team pretty well. Kang is almost dead, Luxray is basically dead. You again go for the Outrage, to which he easily goes into Fini, which is very bad play. You Skull, probably expecting something else, goes back into High Dragon. You basically sack your High Dragon to Defog. Yep, sacking High Dragon, which means you lost your main offensive pressure. Goes into Corsola, which is going to do nothing against this thing. Just to set up rocks, you disable it, which is good. It means you can go into Talonflame, but you heavily underestimate a +2, a +1 Nihilego because that's not going to live. Talonflame is frail. And now we have basically a stall fest because Nihilego is trying to break Corsola while Corsola is trying to will down Nihilego. He basically already lost because he has nothing that takes on Nihilego, Kieran Black or Charizard. Or can even break Fini. I guess I specs Ninetales could break Fini with like Freeze Ray or something, but even then you still have a Kieran Black that all-codes Ninetales basically, and a Nihilego that all-codes it. And now it's really just wall, a lot of stall. Sacks the Charizard Y to the Toxapex, which is an interesting play. Then tries to kill it with the Kangaskhan, which fails. Goes into Kyurem and tries to kill it. Almost kills it, but then sacks it to the Corsola basically. As Corsola almost dies. I don't know why he didn't just attack again to kill it, but okay. And then we have this again. Pex comes in and it's a lot of stall. Then Ninetales comes in, kills the Charizard. Goes into Fini, that dies. Then goes into Luxray, which is going to die. Nihilego he goes back to Pex again. And then it's just this again. Lots of stall and stall and stall. That never answers. He just, for some reason, I don't get why he just isn't killing it. Just sag your Corsola and kill this thing. Or does it outspeed? Look, I don't get why you. This thing isn't Scarf. Why are you not max speed? Are you not speedy beat on your Ninetales to outspeed Nihilego because it dies at this point? So just sack your stupid Corsola. Oh god, I mean look at this. Good, it died because Toxapex struggled. Now, this was a very cancer match. Derby did some questionable plays, sacking the Talonflame, outraging on the Tapu Fini. Well, not on it directly, but outraging when Tapu Fini was still around, which is not a good play. You basically threw away your entire team to Toxapex because you didn't have a dedicated breaker for it, which is not good. Your team was way too passive for Toxapex, which means it brawled your entire team, which is exactly what happened. So, yeah. Not a good match, because it was very stally. But GG's to Derby. Now let's move on to the second match. Cody Co versus JZ504. Now, I see a scary matchup here. Let Mega Lucario, Chomp, and Togekiss against Lele, Zeraora, and Lopunny, and then some smaller things around. Gonna be an interesting match. Right away, I see not really much that takes on Lele apart from a Bullet Punch Lucario. But we'll have to see. Let's see. Play music off, please. So, leads the Garchomp, leads the Zeraora, goes into the Shaman on the obvious Earthquake. Rotom comes in on the Leech Seed, good play for Jesse. Neuven comes in, frisks the Specs, as they trade Scarf for Specs, which is interesting. Now Togekiss comes in, Garchomp, he bulks up, stays in on the Earthquake, which is basically sacking your Zeraora to Garchomp, which is not a good play, because even with +1 you don't live a Garchomp Earthquake. Sacks the Crowfish as well to the Rotom, to the Specs Rotom for some reason, and then tries to whittle down Slowking. And instead of just Seed Flaying, he goes into Neuven and tries to kill him with Neuven instead for whatever reason. Lets it get Toxic as well, as he just switches out here. Cody just sacks his Slowking for some reason. I don't know why. Then he Volt switches on with first Rotom. None of the PSD that ring gave me or Slowking. Okay, I'm not getting stupid. See, I don't get really why he didn't Seed Flare on the Slowking initially. That did a little. Wait, I don't. Ah, yeah, it's Scarf. Okay, I thought it's still Specs. Yeah, my bad. I don't know why he Brick Breaks on the Lele. I don't know why he sacks the Lele on the obvious Shadow Punch. Because now, I don't know, Togekiss comes in, that doesn't die. You allow your... Okay, Talon comes up. You go Air... Yeah, you basically lose to Togekiss now. I don't really get the Wish play. Does Mega Lucario outspeed Mega Lopunny, by the way? I don't know, 4 or 5. Can you Mega Evolve? 3 or 5. Wow. Mega Lucario is way slower than expected. So yeah. High Jumps Kick into the Togekiss, even though it has CC now, so I don't get it. Misses the High Jump Kick because you don't run a CC. I guess because you don't want to get Bullet Punch, but then that's your fault kinda. So yeah. Rotom comes in. Wait. You're still not faster than... Wow. Okay, that was an interesting game. Very offensively, definitely. I don't get really why he stayed in with Slowking on the Shaman, or why he just didn't Seed Flare it. Because even getting some chip on Rotom would have been nice, or Togekiss. But yeah. Lopunny is a monster, and that's all I can say. Good game, I guess. Moving on, we have Button Masher versus Black Mamba. Now, this is Jake's team. Let's see how it goes. Jake versus my former opponent. Hayabusa leads against Dragonite. He U-turns on the first turn to get some chip into Jolteon as he just Dracos, which Jolteon actually lives. Special Dragonite, I see. Goes into Metagross to Bullet Punch. What did the Jolteon do actually? I don't know. So he Toxics as you just allow yourself to die to an Ice Beam, which is not good. You then let him die to an Ice Beam. This is very offensively, like, they don't do any scouting or anything. The crit likely mattered if it was a defensive set, but even then, you just throw away your team entirely and not scout at all. which is not good. You die to that, then Metagross comes in, you sack your Scizor, Greninja comes in, you stay in expecting the U-turn likely, then go into Venusaur as that thing takes 1,000,000 and you basically lost now, because now you sack your Greninja, which is not good because it was like your only thing to check Metagross or anything. So yeah, you basically sacked your entire team to his and didn't scout for anything. You didn't scout for Ice Beam on the Dragonite, you didn't scout for basically anything. You just made the obvious plays, stayed in, and didn't switch at all. Where he did kind of the same, but he was at least working. Ah, okay, he switched also for ejection pack. Okay. Okay. Very questionable game. GG to New Jake, I guess. So moving on, we have. I need to drink something real quick. Also, my dog is barking, so just ignore him. So, Crookie versus Rufus, and I see a Malmatal. As well as a G-Max Grimmsnarl, because I have the regular Grimmsnarl, so I know this is G-Max. Superior, Mew, Corviknight, Toxtricity, and Persimmon. Interesting team. Rain versus pretty bulky offensive. Ah shit. I didn't turn the music off, so let's do that because it's loud. So, Melmetal leads against Toxtricity, goes on the Corviknight as he double iron bashes into the Rocky Helmet. Ouch, that's a crit. So Melmetal is already very, very beat up. So as long as he doesn't get a roost into... I had music off. Now I don't get this here. Because at this point you are just wasting turns because you have no rocks or anything, so nothing gets chipped. But yeah, U-turns on the Aromatis, which is good. So he just straight up Leaf Stone because there's no downfall to it, as he heals Drapion, Poison Jabs the Persimmon, goes back into Aromatis as he U-turns. Goes into Drapion on the Sludge Wave, okay. Now, 0 predictions. Making 0 predictions is not exactly good. Goes into Pelipper on the Close Combat, okay. Mew comes in on the Hurricane, takes very little, so likely a defensive set. He's going to Sunny Day here to get rid of the sun. A lot of switching. And basically just repeating turns. As he just U-turns again, he wishes again, he heals himself, as he Volt switches. Yeah. Mud still comes in on the Volt switch, as he's probably Specs now. He's now basically guaranteed to be Specs. Mew. It's just a lot of switching and not really much attacking. And now the Grimmsnarl is in. He bulk ups as you P-jabs him. Interesting. You P-jab again as he knocks Starfalls. Kills the Drapion. You go into Melmetal to go into Aromatis. I don't exactly get why. And then you sack your Mudsdale. I don't really get why he didn't just attack it. Because you had bulky mons that can live. Instead of just, you could have just gone to Mudsdale and killed it or something. Especially because it's also a slow mon, so you could have just outsped it with Pelipper or something. But yeah, tries to heal the Melmetal, gets paralyzed, which isn't too bad for Melmetal because it's already slow. Thunder punches the Corviknight, which takes 1,000,000 of it because of it. Likely not fully defensive invested, or he's just banded. Probably banded. Kills the Mew with a crit that... Crit for crit, I suppose. Yeah, no, it's yeah. Sacks the Melmetal to the Specs, Toxtricity. Goes into Ludicolo, kills the Grimmsnarl. Toxtricity comes back in as he just Sludge Waves and instead could have just Volts Overdrives again. So Swift Swim, Ludicolo misses the Leaf Storm, which is unfortunate. Gets a crit with the Hydro Pump, which is unfortunate. And this could still be game. No, it isn't. Because now he goes toxicity and just kills the two. So yeah. Very interesting game. Both played really well. It was a lot of switching. And yeah. Not really much else I can say. We did a lot of switching, a lot of scouting, a lot of healing, a lot of pivoting. And that's pretty good for them. So moving on. We have 4 more matches. No, I don't want any ads. Thank you. So now we are at my game. Me versus Killcroc. Now, I went into this match being big scared of JLPC because JLPC is an absolute terror. And my team is very slow and bulky, which is basically something that is torn apart by JDarm. So I was very scared in this match. I also knew that he had only one Stealth Rocker in Hippowdon, so either he brings Hippowdon, gives me sand for my extra drill boost, or he doesn't bring Hippowdon and I don't have to worry about rocks, so I only have two removers. So yeah, my game plan was basically just set up Butterfree and kill everything. So let's see how it goes. I lead off with Hitmontop because it had the best matchup and didn't really get threatened out by anything. I Toxic the Hippowdon so he can't wall me as he rocks up. And that's basically it. Then I go Rotom Wash to threaten the Hippowdon out. He goes Gengar, I go Volt Switch, he goes Thunderous on my expected Volt Switch, which was a very good play. He Grass Knots me, which does barely anything because Rotom is very light. I defog first to get rid of the rocks. He goes Alomomola on my Hydro Pump. Very good play. I then Shadow Ball first to scout if he goes into Thunderous again on my Volt Switch as he knocks off my leftovers. Get a Spit over lucky one. I Hydro Pump on the Thunderous play. At this point I think I knew it was Specs or something. I kill the Thunderous with a Sucker Punch, which is nice. Taunt the Hippowdon so he can rocks up. Then I set up a Reflect to scout if he has Stone Edge or what attacking moves he has. He goes Alomomola to wall my life. I set up a light screen because of reasons. For Skull, yep, as he burns me here. I taunt him to prevent him from wishing and more. I go into Butterfree because I knew, okay, he can't hurt very much and burn doesn't matter much. I Quiver Dance because he can Toxic me if he has it. Toxic taunt ended, so I substitute up to not get Toxic. And here is my first misplay. I Quiver Dance as he Whirlwinds me, which was a big misplay of my side. I forgot about Whirlwind not being able to phase out G-Max, so I didn't do that. I go into my Balloon, Kohleberg, knowing that he likely can't hit me. Set up my rocks, go back into Hitmontop, lower its attack even more as he gets Toxic Whittle down. Because I knew his last move was likely going to be a Slag Off. I Earthquake for some chip as he goes into Alomomola. I Toxic that thing as well because it's bulky and I want it to be chipped. He goes back into Hippowdon to heal it up as I Mach Punch it for more chip. Because I couldn't really switch because I didn't really have anything that likes to take rock damage and I needed to make sure that I'm not in the range where Scarf JDarm could just OHKO everything on my team. So it was a tough situation for me because I couldn't really do much. So he's low and I thought, okay, he showed Protect to me. He showed Protect to me. He gets healed again. Because I forgot that, yeah. He gets healed again, he goes back into Hippowdon and that basically goes on for a while. As I just try to whittle him down. I go Colossal here on his Earthquake, on his Slag Off, because I knew he can hit me really. Then Spike up to get more chip done. Go into Hitmontop on the Scald because I don't like to get burned or yeah. Because I don't want my Colossal to get whittled down. Get a lucky crit, which means get a lucky crit there. Sadly doesn't kill because Wish goes before Toxic, which is sad. I go Excadrill here, expecting him to Wish again. He scalds. which is bad because I needed the health, because I think I was Sash. Actually, I don't know what item I was anymore. But yeah, I go Colossal on the Salazzle, expecting the Flamethrower. I Scald in case a Powder comes in. Go into Hitmontop as he megas up to trap me. Shadow Ball, live at 1 HP, and then Sucker Punch him as he dies. Goes into Salazzle, expecting my Sucker Punch. Toxics, expecting my Sucker Punch. I knew that. Earthquakes to make sure he doesn't storm me out. And now the fun begins. I knew when I saw that I couldn't really wall the Manton anymore with anything. I thought I lost to it because Reflect is up and I still die, which means it's banded. I go into Excadrill expecting to Jesus, my throat hurts. Sorry guys. So basically what happened here is I knew I didn't have speed on my Excadrill. So I knew or thought he's going to outspeed and kill me here because it was a roll. Bandit the Manitan has a roll to kill me with superpower at -1. So I knew it was either that or something. But turns out he was Adamant, which means my Excadrill actually outspeeds him, which was very crucial because I was able to spin my rocks away, which means I can get into Butterfree, which takes 0 from this. So this was very lucky for me, the fact that I outsped his Damanitan, because now I go Butterfree, Quiverdance up, wants to guarantee the kill on Hippowdon. Bug Buzz you die, Hippowdon comes in, I then G-Max up to finish it off, which was very lucky. As I said, had the Manitan outsped my Excadrill, I lost right there because as I said, Butterfree dies to the rocks. So very lucky game for me. So moving on, we have the next game. Pokeprimer versus Playcaster. Interesting matchup. I see a lot of bulk here with Suicune, Deoxys, and likely Mega Diancie. Or regular Diancie. I don't know if he has Mega Diancie or Mega Sizzle, but I think it's Mega Sizzle. So pretty bulky with some offensive in it. And here we have pretty bulky as well. So let's see. Leads off with Suicune against Cortana as he stays in. I don't really get. Misses a Toxic anyway, as he Whirlpools to trap the Suicune. Perish trapping it, which means a big threat is already gone, which is very huge for Playcaster because Suicune is always a big threat and now he doesn't really have a Pokemon. Losing a Pokemon to Perish Song is very unfortunate. But he also loses a lot of health on his Primarina, which is not that good because Primarina is still very good in this matchup against Diancie, Scizor, Dragapult and stuff. Now, this is one turn that I do not understand. Why sack your Espeon on the obvious Dragapult that is definitely faster than you and has Ghost Step to kill you with and U-turn? Why would you stay in instead of scouting or going into Landorus to scout for it? Or, I don't know. I guess you didn't need Espeon that much, even though it has a good matchup against Roserade, and depending on the set can hit the others as well. But still, sacking a mon like that is never really a good play. Makes a good goes in Charizard, the Yancy comes in, give him so get some chip on the Deoxys, which is going to Thunder Wave actually on the Zard X. Then Recover stalls it because it's a bulky mother. So yeah, this is just Zard X trying to take down Deoxys D and getting chipped down by Flare Blitz as he hopes for a para. Now getting to paras is very unfortunate, but I don't know what Zard would have done to Diancie anyway. Then Swords Dancing on the Diancie is also a very questionable play because you could have just gone into Katana and kill it with a steel move, sacking your Primarina to it as well, instead of just going into Katana. And here again, why not going into Katana way sooner? Now Deoxys basically walls the entire team. I mean, not like Primarina would have done anyway much to it, or Heracross, but still. This is now just Deoxys walling the entire team because you don't have a dedicated check for it. Katana is likely locked, which is bad because you just can't kill the Deoxys. So yeah, U-turns as you just recover stall him and Nightshade. So yeah. A sad match, Playcaster definitely did some questionable plays, sacking the Espeon, not going Katana sooner on the Diancie or the Deoxys, trying to set up on a Diancie with a Heracross is also very questionable, because yeah. And yeah, Pokeperma played pretty well, making good plays and making good plays and switches, so that's that. And I need to hurry up a little bit because I don't want this to be like longest hour. So 2 more. What time are we on right now? Oh, only 26 minutes? Oh, that's actually pretty short. So yeah. Pizer versus Rainy Day 1-1. I see the mascot Basculin right there against the Mega Zam and Darkrai. So this is a very scary matchup because apart from Mega Zam and Darkrai and Terrakion, the rest is very bulky and bad. And he is against a Libero Cinderace and a Milotic, which is very bulky. Also my favorite Pokemon. Obstagoon depends on the Sandrim, what it is, but can wall Mega Zam if it doesn't have Focus Blast. So let's see how the match goes. Leads Fortress as he leads Cinderace, making a really good play, predicting the DDD. Anyway, traps the Giovanni and kills it, which is very good. Then tries to substitute up on a Delmise, which is questionable. Goes Darkrai on the Delmise, which is also questionable, and basically sacks it to it. Because yeah, you are effective against it, but still. Goes into Dugtrio to pick... No. I need to pause real quick because this is going too fast. Now, why go hard Darkrai on a Delmise? Darkrai is not bulky, and Delmise is bulky. You don't have much for Delmise, so going Fortress or something would have been better. To like try and toxic it, to whittle it down first, because non-boosted Darkrai doesn't kill Delmise. Delmise is just too bulky. And the fact that he doesn't have leftovers so could very likely mean that he's AV, which it probably was. Then, allowing Darkrai to get whittled down and trapped by Dugtrio and picked off is also very bad, because Darkrai was very good in this matchup. Outspeeds the Cinderace if it's not Scarf, and still does a good chunk, but still. Now Togetic is in, takes a million from it, but he heals it up as he walls. Now he sacks the Togetic because he didn't sack. I lose my voice right now, so I don't talk that much, but yeah. Swords that up on the Cinderace as Rain just chips down the Terrakion for his Dugtrio, as Dugtrio comes in, picks off the Terrakion, and then it's basically GG because you just Sucker Punch the Megalis Kazam. Actually his Scarf Dugtrio to outspeed Megazam, good play. Then he goes Basculin kills the Zam, and your last mon is Fortress. So keeping your wall at hazard setup to last is never good, because it's not the mon you're going to win with. And even now, what are you going to do here? Yeah, that's just Milotic killing you because you kept your one Pokemon to the end that is not going to do anything against the team. Also, I need a new water bottle, so I'll be right back because my throat is hurting like heck. I definitely am glad that I'm doing next week's one with Rain or Jake together. So yeah, next week week 3 is gonna be with Rain or Jake, whoever is available. So I don't have to talk as much, thankfully. But yeah, good match on Rainy Day's side. He knew what he had to do, chip down the team to be able to trap and kill with Duck Trio. Very good match. Not for you because you threw out your mons, let them get trapped, and yeah, not the best. And then finally we have the last match, Tenacity versus Who J Who. And we see a scary team with Naganadel, Coco, Celesteela, and Mamoswine as well as Uxie. So lots of offensive pressure in Coco, Naganadel, and Mamoswine, and then Pokemons Lantern, Azel, Uxie, and Celesteela. I don't know if Lantern gets Wish, but I think it gets Heal Bell for sure. And he is up against a not so good team. Halucha is decent, I guess, but not very that good because it only beats Mamoswine. Aselgor is a mon I don't really like because it's very weak and frail. Pinchurchin, probably to switch into the Coco, but why not use a ground type instead then? G-Max Lapras is a decent bring, even though Coco is going to annihilate it and he has double electric. Lol, 4 to 108 speed. Why is the forms bugged? Anyway, so yeah, let's see how it goes. Lycanroc leads against Uxie as they both rock up, that's a good play. Stone Edge is the Uxie, and seeing that it does no damage at all, he should switch here, but no he doesn't, he just keeps sacking his Lycanroc basically, and losing one of his biggest offensive threats. Now he switches, after he sees it does no damage, into his Aselgor, which is not a good switch in because it takes a lot of damage. Now, this play right here is like, what were you trying to accomplish by agilitying up on a Celesteela, a steel flying type with incredible bulk that is just going to kill you? That made no sense at all. Because even with agility, what are you going to achieve with it? You're not going to do any damage to Celesteela unless you final gambit and then you also kill yourself, so no point in setting up. So very questionable play. As he gets a defense boost. Then goes into Lapras, which is interesting. G-Max is up to block the Heavy Slam as he max Lightnings, which does pretty decent damage and sets up the terrain. He goes Lantern on the next max line, on the max Geyser, predicting it well, predicting the water move, which is interesting. And yeah, he then max Resonance to get off his Aurora Veil, which is understandable. Thunderwaves the Lapras as he tries to whittle it down with Thunderbolt, which is not working because you don't do any damage. You should switch out and not stay in on a Lantern when you do only about 26%. He sacks the Lapras, which is also questionable because Ice Shot priority would have been good against Naganadel or something, but okay. Aurora Veil is also gone, so not even abuse that. Goes into Lycanroc as he just goes into Celesteela, predicting the Drill Run, which was obvious to come. Now he just protects to whittle down the Lycanroc as it now dies in the next turn. He tries to double protect, doesn't get it, gets Stone Edge, doesn't do anything because we are talking about Celesteela here. Lycanroc goes down, Halucha comes in, don't know what Halucha is supposed to do much against him, as he tries to taunt it, which is interesting. Cross chops, which does barely any damage, dies to Air Slash, and this is already game because Pinch Urchin is not gonna do anything, and Florges also dies to Heavy Slam, so goes to the Mamoswine on the electric move, as he instead spikes, which is questionable, dies to Earthquake, goes to Florges, and he lost. Yep, Banded Mamoswine, and yeah. So, who Jay played very well, making good predicts, making great predicts, prepping well, and scouting as well for stuff. Where Nasty basically just clicked buttons and did very questionable plays and switches and didn't scout at all or just made the obvious plays. So, very questionable match on his side. Very good game for you, Jay. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. This is my first time doing a recaps, so I tried my best. Also, I'm doing this alone, which is a lot harder. My throat is dying. I need to pause here now, so I'm just going to say GG to everybody who played this week. I'm curious to see how the Frake 3 matches go. And I'll see you guys then. Subscribe to Rainy Day, subscribe to all the coaches in this league, which is just me, Rainy Day, and Jesse. Subscribe to them. Links will be in the description down below. Subscribe to my channel if you like the content. Leave a like, leave a sub, and yeah, leave a comment who you thought played best this week. Why can't I talk anymore? Leave a comment to tell me who played the best this week. Thank God. Jesus, I need to finish now because my English is breaking up and I can't talk anymore. So I'll see you guys.